Hey all, Observation Station here. This is a kind of a follow-up to the last video I did, kind of talked it through a little bit regarding Jeanntal Marshall, actually, who works for Kathryn Krick, who poses as a worship leader and as a Kathryn Krick sidekick, say that 5 times fast, who travels the globe with her, spreading their poisonous false teachings. This just came out an hour ago on A Palace Soul, Kathryn Krick's channel. I have got to share this with you. I have to share my response to this video with you. It is blowing my mind. So let's get it started. Jeanntal is basically pretending, in my opinion, to share a behind-the-scenes story that rocked her world when she was sitting on an airplane and they got bad news of some ministry that came out against the fivefold ministry that Krick heads up. Here we go.
Intimate moment that impacted me greatly 3 years ago, and I really feel the Lord leading me to share with you all about this precious, intimate moment that truly marked me. 3 years ago, we were on our way to Kentucky, and we had received news on the flight in the air of an attack against the
What was that outfit?
from another minister. And I remember
that was a weird clip of
in
Kathryn.
awe that this was happening. We had never experienced something like this before, so this was really something shocking to me. I remember being on the plane, and I was not sitting next to Apostle Kathryn.
Surprise.
So we were sitting in 2 different places, and I remember weeping on the plane, like just in awe.
It's so weird how she goes into such strange detail, and she's going to say Kathryn got up to use the bathroom. TMI, Jeanntal, really?
The first time that I ever experienced that flip-flop of emotions in such a short span of time. And at one point, Apostle Kathryn, I think she had got up to go to the bathroom, and she passed by my seat. And with tears in my eyes, I'm just watching her, because I know that what we just heard was pretty devastating. She looked at me and she smiled, not crying or anything, she just smiled and just walked back. And I knew that what we had just heard of,
whatever attack came their way, quote unquote, unfortunately wasn't enough, because they're still going on strong over there in Los Angeles and traveling the world, like I said.
Emotions are saying something else or feeling something else, that we can choose to be at peace. We can choose to be calm. And I saw that in that quick of a moment.
Wow.
That example alone.
That example.
So quickly spoke all of that to me in that moment. Just seeing her just simply smile, not say anything, but just smile at me and just walk past. It showed.
It's such a fangirl attitude that Jeanntal gives, this vibe that she gives towards Kathryn. She does worship her. And for the record, my heart goes out to Jeanntal. She has been sucked into Kathryn's vortex of crazy. So please pray for her. I pray that her eyes are opened. She is defending this woman to the core. There's so much to unpack in this video, and unfortunately, I don't have the time or the intelligence to do it quite the justice, but I want you to get this drift. How she is basically going into damage control mode for Kathryn, because there's dust being kicked up against them, and they're feeling it. And Kathryn did a video today, basically appealing to the single people out there, and it also is a disaster and scary, just with her facial features and her weird voice changes.
Pulled up the minister's profile on one of the social media pages, and she looked at the screen, and she looked at this person's face, and I never forget her face. She did this with so much love in the midst of so much persecution, so many bad comments, so many people saying so many things. It's not really persecution. But in the midst of this, she pulled up her phone and says, "I bless you. May God bless you. I forgive you. May no harm come to you." Just words like that.
Jeanntal, please get a life.
And in my heart, I was like a lion on a leash.
Okay,
Like,
listen to
I'm
this.
like
Listen
Peter
to
about
this.
to chop off some ears.
Okay.
You know, like, that's what I wanted to do.
It's not funny.
You know, like, I wanted to be like Peter, like, defending. And so that was
She wanted to be like Peter. Who did Peter try to defend? Jesus. Who is Jeanntal saying that Kathryn is? Kathryn is Jesus to Jeanntal in a very, very unhealthy way.
She loved on her enemy. And I just watched her in silence.
Jesus loved on his enemies, but that's not enough.
Lord, forgive me. I realized that I need to be transformed by you more and more.
And Jeanntal, please note, she is imitating Kathryn Krick's style of fake crying. She's learned from her master.
In the middle of it, will pull up a phone and speak life over their enemies. Oh, Lord, please transform me. Please mold me. I've always known Apostle Kathryn has a pure heart. I've always known from the first day that I met her. I loved her heart. I loved her heart.
Jeanntal,
I knew it was a heart purely after the will of God.
You do know that there's none righteous, no, not one, right? You do know that?
There was no condemnation. It was just purely seeing the love of God through his vessel, pouring out love to their enemies.
So she's so pure.
No one was looking. No one could see. Just me. Just one person and Jesus. That day forever changed me. That day I realized the importance of loving your neighbor, of loving your enemies, loving every person. And
oh yeah, Kathryn Krick will love her enemies, but she will also have a lawyer send you a cease and desist. Jeanntal, we really do need to talk. I really wish you'd reach out. You were so deceived. You have worshipped this woman. You put her on such a pedestal. And by the way, your dear Queen of Purity, Kathryn Krick, does not have a pure heart. There is one person in this universe who has a true pure heart, and that is God through his son, Jesus Christ. So stop with the pure stuff. Yeah, we should, whoa, what happened? Oh, that's her. Man, that's the transformation. If you want to talk about transformation, good. It's good to get healthier. I'm going to rant a minute. I am so sick of Kathryn Krick's obsession with the word surrender. I am telling you right now, that is a very cultic practice to get people to lay down everything, including the ability to use common sense. That's what cult leaders want. They want you to leave your brain at the door and surrender your money, surrender your time, surrender your will to them. Show me in the Bible how surrender is so emphasized the way you talk about, the way you preach it every single time you get behind a microphone, Kathryn Krick. And this poor girl has been duped by you.
People sharing how they've been freed, healed.
See?
This is the fruit that Jesus talks about. The fruit that we should look out for.
Nope.
A good tree cannot produce bad fruit. A bad tree cannot produce good fruit.
Jeanntal, have you been listening to Justin Peters? Wow, you're right about that.
I truly encourage you, go and watch. It's life-changing.
Why are you giggling? You just were crying a minute ago.
Of people being healed and set free by Jesus. I'm so honored to be able to see God touch people. After almost 7 years, it's going to be 7 years.
What is on your
next
shirt?
Month. It's going to be 7
There's
years
hair
of
and
me
white
witnessing
dots.
testimony after testimony.
Maybe
person
check that
after
first.
person being set free, being healed, being delivered in front of my eyes.
Oh, that's such baloney. The lady with her eyeballs.
No one can take that away from me.
So
what I have
ridiculous.
seen, what I have felt
I'm getting
in
mad.
my
I'm gonna
own
have to say
spirit, the transformation that
She
I have experienced.
says if
no
you go to
one
Fivefold
can take
Church,
that
you'll be
away.
transformed,
And
y'all.
It's the same.
She doesn't say if you cry out to the Lord to be delivered, if you cry out to the Lord to be healed, if you cry out to the Lord to be saved. She doesn't say that. She points everybody to Kathryn Krick, who is a false teacher, who is a cult leader, who is unblessed, and sends out her little minions like Jeanntal to get in front of a camera for her 7 minutes or whatever and blah, 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 blah about how awesome Kathryn Krick is and how you have to come to Fivefold Church. Baloney. Read your Bible.